Now at 6, authorities have now charged a man with murder in connection with the shooting of an Amazon driver. Plus,
those flu symptoms getting to you yet? I'm Lonnie Walton in Anderson. I talked to a local pharmacist and he says there are things you can do to help relieve the pain. I'll have that story coming up.
And the community steps up to provide mold testing for a Pittsburgh residence apartment.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities upgrade charges against the man connected with shooting an Amazon driver. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities say the Amazon driver, now identified as 23-year-old Jasmine Sky Taylor, was shot while delivering packages off of Missouri 97 in Lawrence County last Wednesday. Video footage from inside the Amazon vehicle showed Taylor traveling down Highway 97 in Wentworth, where she was shot. And Taylor then crashed off the roadway into a fence. Last night, Taylor died from her injuries. Investigators say this man, Thomas Coy, confessed to shooting Taylor with a pellet rifle, pulling her from the vehicle and laying her in a ditch. Coy was originally charged with assault and armed criminal action. Authorities say charges have been upgraded to first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Coy remains held without bond in the Lawrence County Jail. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Yeah, we got some rain and a little bit of a wintry mix, which is going to roll in for us a little bit later on tonight. But look at this. First off, temperatures are above freezing, so that is good news, but we will drop back near freezing as we go through the evening hours. Showers picking up, especially after 9 p.m., but we are going to have some sleet kind of mixing in. Winter weather advisory in our southeastern counties tonight for that light sleet, and then winter weather advisories, winter storm watch in effect for tomorrow night in Wednesday's event. So we have 2 little rounds which are going to affect us. Look at the rain starting to pick up, and if we go into our southern counties, you can see a little purple, a little pink. So we do have sleet, which is mixing in. It's not really doing anything on the roadways, but as we get a little bit colder, we want to see if there's possibly could get a few slick spots out there later on tonight. Bigger system moves in tomorrow night. We're going to talk about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. With the potential for winter weather in the next few days, the Missouri Department of Transportation says they're getting prepared. MoDOT says they have enough staff to be able to have all their available snowplows and salt spreaders running. Some parts of the state are expected to be hit harder than others. MoDOT representatives say they'll be sending resources to where they're most needed, but all major roads will be plowed regardless.
We have approximately statewide 3,000 employees ready to plow and treat roads as needed for this storm. We have about 1,500 plow trucks. We staff those trucks 12-hour shifts, so we cover 24-hour period.
He asked that drivers be aware of plow trucks working to clear the roads and give them plenty of space. Well, flu cases are surging in the U.S. The latest info from the CDC shows doctor visits for flu illnesses have reached the highest level since 2009. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with a local pharmacist about what you should have in your cabinet to help relieve some of the symptoms.
Delsum over the counter, I recommend if you have a dry hacking cough, taking that every 12 hours just as needed.
Dr. Cody Yoke is the pharmacist at Out Pharmacy in Anderson. If anybody knows a thing or two about flu and cold meds, it would be him. That's why I asked him what's in his cabinet.
So for flu and cold symptoms, I would do the over-the-counter Tylenol severe cold and flu is typically my go-to. It covers multi-symptoms including runny nose, fever, maybe cough and congestion.
And if you have mucus, Dr. York says
Robitussin, which will help if you have mucus congestion in your chest. That'll help break that up.
And I had to stop by the 4 states to see how they deal with those unwanted symptoms.
Resting on the couch and vitamin C and zinc.
It's got to be a nice, hot, spicy chili.
I drink a lot of fluids or listen to good music.
I drink orange juice.
Just lay around and with a blanket and read.
And drinking a lot of fluids is what it's all about, according to Dr. York.
The more fluids you drink, the easier it is to break that mucus up and get that out of your chest.
And if all this medicine is not your thing, Dr. York says there's a few natural things you can do also.
I like to use peppermint oil. If you're having trouble sleeping, I like to do lavender oil. Maybe a teaspoon or two of fresh grated ginger root. That can also help with flu-like symptoms as well.
Reporting in Anderson, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
According to Walgreens Flu Index, Oklahoma ranks #1 in the nation for states with flu activity. Arkansas ranked 4th on the list. Oklahoma City and Tulsa ranked 1 and 7 for designated market areas for flu activities. Well, a Pittsburgh woman says she finally has answers about whether a mold problem in her home was fixed. It's a story we originally brought to you back in September. After asking for the mold issue to be addressed, Susan Ledbetter was informed her lease would not be renewed. After that report, Ledbetter says it was the community who stepped up with a mold specialist offering to test her home. It's made her request accountability from the property management company.
Somebody's not fixing the problem and is going to let another family maybe, or an individual, another human move in there when it hasn't been taken care of.
Tonight on KOAM News at 10, we'll have the details on what mold testing found in her home and why specialists say the findings could have impacts on her family's health. One member of the Pitt State men's basketball team receives high honors this week. John Dales has the latest on the Gorilla named MIAA Player of the Week coming up later in sports. Plus, fighting your flying fears.
I spoke with a mental health professional about anxiety surrounding flying on an airplane. I'm Melissa Alexis, and I'll have more on that story coming up.
It seems like calm to schedule your free estimate now.
With the recent airplane crashes across the U.S., some travelers may be wondering just how safe is it to fly in an airplane. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke with a mental health professional about dealing with flight anxiety.
Flying. It's something that can evoke feelings of anxiety.
It's a very common anxiety-producing thing to do.
And with recent airplane crashes across America, including the American airline collision near D.C., and the medical jet crash just a few days later, it has some people wondering, is it safe to fly?
Even with the incidents that we've had recently, flying is considered, by all the statistics, the safest form of travel that you can engage in, so much more so than driving does. But because we feel like we have so much more control when we're driving than when we're flying, then oftentimes that anxiety ramps up a bit.
According to the National Safety Council, flying is one of the safest modes of transportation. The National Safety Council also says the odds of getting into a motor vehicle crash is 1 in 95, and they consider the odds of being in a fatal airplane crash too small to calculate. Del Camp, the chief clinical officer at the Ozark Center in Joplin, says sometimes social media can skew our perception.
Social media and hyper-focused media on it because it resets your odd makers to where you think it's more likely something like that's going to happen when, as a matter of fact, it's just not.
And he says if your anxiety surrounding flying on airplanes is interfering with either your job or your personal relationships, it could be a good idea to seek professional help.
Sit down and talk with them about what limitations that fear has brought into their lives.
And for people who have mild anxiety when it comes to flying, Del Camp recommends distractions like listening to music or having noise-canceling headphones. He also recommends breathing exercises.
Learning how to box breathe is what it's called. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 7 seconds, and you breathe out for 8 seconds. So you don't hyperventilate in that environment.
And most of all, Del Camp says he doesn't want people to live in fear.
It's the safest, fastest form of it. Certainly much safer than taking the family car and trying to drive across country.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
According to the National Safety Council, commercial air travel is considered one of the safest modes of transportation. A little later, signing season continues for some area high school athletes. John Dales has the latest coming up in sports.
Plus, we have winter weather chances moving in the next couple days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, kind of gloomy for us this afternoon. We had some sunshine during the morning hours, but since that point in time, the clouds have really thickened up. In fact, we have some light showers, which are kind of increasing across the region and will continue to as we go through the evening hours. Nice shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. We are looking downtown Joplin from 7th and Joplin Street off toward the north and to the east. Temps above freezing, but we're sliding back. We're going to get near freezing, and a wintry mix will start to develop, especially after about 9 p.m. We do have winter weather advisory in Lawrence and Berry County, and then over towards Springfield and Branson. Nothing in the metro, and then this is all winter weather advisories and winter storm watches for the next event, which starts tomorrow night. But I do think we're going to get a light wintry mix tonight, so we do need to watch that. You can see the rain starting to pick up. You can see some purple, and this is in northwestern Arkansas, so this is where we are getting sleet mixing in. Still a good amount of rain, but sleet. It really hasn't been really sticking to the ground, but as we get dark and as this builds in, we could get some slushy spots out there late this evening into the overnight hours. So we're going to watch that, but you can see the rain starting to pick up across the region. None of this is reaching the ground, so it's mainly from McDonald County into Benton County, Ottawa County that we're starting to get a little bit of action. But rain will increase, mixing with sleet, especially along the south of I-44 as we get into late evening, and then just light showers of sleet late tonight into tomorrow morning. Even tomorrow morning, we're going to have a few bands of light snow showers, maybe a few light little sleet showers. Overall, not expecting a huge issue, but still something we want to watch. Bigger show moves in tomorrow night. We're going to have a wide range. We're going to have thunder snow with this. So we'll have snow north, sleet middle, rain south. So wide range across the region. Here it comes in Wednesday morning. Mainly snow northern counties, central counties, mainly sleet, all rain. Once you get into our southern counties, bands of light to moderate snow continue with sleet into Wednesday, late morning into the early afternoon. Then all this will roll out by about mid-afternoon on Wednesday. First off, our little event tonight into tomorrow. So in this pink, light sleet and light snow, and there could be some minor impacts on the roadways. So just watch out for that tonight into tomorrow. If we had any accumulations with sleet, it would probably be under a half an inch. We'd have to see how much would mix in. Now the event tomorrow night, all snow, northern counties 6 to 10, 4 to 6, Fort Scott and Nevada, mixing with sleet in this lighter blue, so that's why amounts are a little lower. Majority sleet in the white, so that's why it's sleet and snow under 2 inches. Road impacts, they'll start getting tricky. This is we're looking just at Tuesday night, Wednesday. Start getting tricky Wednesday morning, and then probably the worst as we get into the middle of the morning hours on Wednesday. But again, we want to watch the light wintry mix tonight into tomorrow, 36 for a high, 32 on Wednesday. Cold, only 28 on Thursday, so whatever does fall will stick around at least for a couple days.
So how soon is it going to switch from more of like rain to sleet tonight?
It'll probably start sleet mainly.
Okay,
yeah.
So be ready for it.
Most of us.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, 2 Pittsburgh State Gorillas are named MIAA Player of the Week, and all 4 of Neosho's football team captains signed to play at the college level. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Mount Vernon High School football has won 8 games or more in each of the last 3 seasons. And this morning, one of the Mountaineers' top wideouts signs to play college football. Mount Vernon High School senior Grayson Gann puts pen to paper this morning on his national letter of intent. He's headed to Baker University, Baldwin City, Kansas. As a senior, Gann received all district and all conference honors. He says it's an honor to represent Mount Vernon at the next level.
Been here kindergarten through senior year now, and definitely bleed green. That's a real thing. It has an effect on you, for sure. Going there, getting a degree, and probably get some rings, hopefully.
Neosho High School football reached new heights this past fall. The Wildcats finished the season with 6 wins. That matches their combined total from the previous 4 years, and today, each of Neosho's team captains signed national letters of intent. 4 Neosho High School seniors signed this afternoon to play football at the collegiate level. Quarterback Cade Spiva signs with Mid-America Nazarene. Wide receiver Boston Patterson is headed to Baker. Running back Denver Welch signs with Benedictine. And linebacker Trey Harden will play in the MIAA at Emporia State.
It's the dream I've always dreamed of. They've been my best friend since 3rd grade, and being able to sign with them, it's kind of been what we imagined from the start when we first started playing football, and that's always what we wanted to do.
It feels great. You know, I've always wanted to play college football. I knew from a young age, and I always knew that I wanted to go somewhere and be somebody and kind of put this town on the map, if you will, and kind of give it a bigger light for younger kids, you know, coming up to get them more chances to get recruited also.
I prayed about it a lot, definitely talked to some family and friends, but I feel like God wanted me to go to this school, and I'm 100% committed to Him, so I just trust Him.
The second I stepped foot on campus, it felt like home, and the coaches just welcomed me with open arms from the get-go, and it just felt like the place that resembled Neosho the most, from like the family, the community, everything.
Once again, Pittsburgh State well represented in the MIAA's weekly awards. Pitt State sophomore guard Jordan Friesen, well, he's named the MIAA Men's Basketball Player of the Week, and this comes after he scores 32 points in a comeback win over Emporia State on Thursday. Followed that up with a 34-point outing in a win over Newman on Saturday. And Pittsburgh State baseball grad transfer Colby Dugan is named MIAA Pitcher of the Week. It's the second week in a row he's earned that honor. This comes after his complete game one-hitter with 16 strikeouts over Truman State Saturday. Closing things out with high school hoops in Missouri, Macaulay Catholic boys have senior night this evening against Halfway. We'll have highlights at 9 and 10. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. After an Amazon driver is shot and killed with an air rifle, experts sound the alarm. These guns should be treated no different than regular firearms. Plus, experts warn of the appearance of a new mutation of bird flu across the country. And we'll have the latest on community efforts to provide mold testing for a Pittsburgh resident. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The community of Columbus, Kansas rolled up its sleeve today to support a good cause. The Community Blood Center of the Ozarks hosted a blood drive. Across the Ozarks, someone's friend, family member, coworker, neighbor, or loved one needs blood every 7 minutes. Not only do blood drives benefit the community, but sometimes recipients like to reach out and express their thanks for the potentially life-saving gift.
And we actually have a Thank the Donor program that I really like. It sends out like a, I can't remember if it's email or text message, but it sends out a notification to what hospital your blood actually went to, so it kind of helps you know that it's helping people in your community. And then if the recipient decides, they can send a message back to you thanking you. And we have a bunch of people that do that, and I love that program.
Community Blood Center of the Ozarks says eligible donors can give blood every 56 days. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we're going to have light showers mixing in with some light sleet for us tonight. We're going to get some light snow showers once again tomorrow. I think just minor impacts on the road because our temperature is mainly kind of hovering above freezing. And then sleet and snow and rain all increasing again tomorrow night into Wednesday.
All right. Of course, that might affect some sporting things too.
It might, but luckily for us, basketball games indoors usually not too impacted. Tonight we have senior night over at Macaulay Catholic. I'll have the highlights later this evening.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for watching. We're going to see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.